if you know what your family is, you can go straight to it and say, okay, just show me the caletids, and bang, down below it, there we have the 13 different species of caletids. But if you're not quite sure what it is and you want to work from a character point of view, you might say, okay, well, it's got 3 submarginal cells, and we immediately go down to 5 species. Of those 3 submarginal cells which disappears, the characters now, I either have the glossal shape of apex blunt or truncate or pointed, or I might have the scrobal groove present or below. So let's say that it's the apex of the glossa is pointed. Bang, we're down to 3 species straight up. And then on the scopy, we can say, well, whereabouts is the primary scopy? Is it on the femora or on the hind tibia? It's on the femur. So bang, we're just down to Homo erectus. Okay, very easy. Very easy to manipulate them. Here's another one. Let's go in. We've got the first flagella segment is shorter than the scape, and we have 19 species. It has 2 submarginal cells. Remember, we're building it down here. And here we are here. The first 2 flagella segments are elongate. And we go down to these species down here, which are just magnificent. So, as I said, you can see how we can move around quickly. There might be diagnostic characteristics, absolutely diagnostic, that are characteristic for an entire family. Let's go on down through and see here. The primary scopy, in fact, these bees don't have any scopa on the outside. They don't have any pollen-carrying hairs on the outside of the body. And they are unique to Australia in the hyliines and the euryglossines. Now, I've played around with the euryglossines a little bit here, and so let's move across all of the euryglossines and the one hyline into there. I want to get rid of the hyline, so I remove that one there, and I want to play with the character states on the this is the entire genus. These are the smallest bees in the world. Down here, the Quasihesma, measuring about 1 millimeter, and they have no hairs on the body at all. They look very much like a wasp. Let's pop into here and open this one up. It's no hairs, no big scopy on the legs on that. Mainly found up in Cape York Peninsula. So let's go back out of there. Okay, so I've got rid of them all. We pop it over here, and we'll add them all on, except for that first one. I don't want the hylion in there. I'm down to all of the Quasihesma, and let's do a comparative image table. And let's add them all in. Here's our wonderful table, and let's open up the full screen. Wonderful things. Look at these heads on that. So what I've done is I've said, look at the mandibles. Here they either have black markings on 1/3 of apical third. In fact, I've just taken these characters out of the key, written by Dr. Elizabeth Exley in 1980. So on the mandibles, it's either 1/3, it's at the very tip, or there are no black at all, no black here again, or more like a half down here. And you can see the different character states. Another character state is how far does the black between the eyes extend? Does it not extend between the eyes, or does it extend all the way from the eyes? Another character is whether the clypeus has a beak, or whether it extends across the whole of the clypeal region there. So lots of characters, and as you can see, I've added in character states for each one of them. Okay, so let's look at, just say, here at the third, apical third. Let's go back up and click it up there. Let's look at the no black markings down there. Tips only, there they are there. So go back to here, let's look at the vertex and look at the black does not extend across, or go back and say, let's go down to extends across the whole lot. Or finally, we'll have a quick look at 2 other products, Bowerbird and the remote microscope diagnostics. Bowerbird is where we say it's the answer to the need in biosecurity and biodiversity for a shared user space, basically. We intend to allow, as I said, community groups to come into a sandpit and either play in the general sandpit or play within a group of a sandpit. Might be, as I said, viruses or pathogens, and that group will be by invitation only, or it'll be open to anybody to come in there. That's not built yet, but we'll be on to it very soon. But we do have the identification queries. and this takes you into, this is into your dashboard, and it shows you whether any identification. So there may be someone who's sent a query to me, and it says, Ken, can you help me identify some bees? And that's where I'll find it down there. Okay. If we go into the remote diagnostics, here's where you can make a identification query. By registering in the back end, my name's here, and it pulls in all of my associated information. Then I'm able to put some specimen details. We've only got it for the invertebrates at the moment, but we're certainly about to add here. We'll probably just have a drop box. Is it an invertebrate? Is it a pathogen? Is it a virus? Is it a phytoplasma? There's a range. Is it an nematode? There'll be a range of different things there. We'll ask the people to tell us how it's stored and whereabouts you found it. If you want, you can put in Latin longs, and we'll have a button here which will allow you to bring it up on a Google Maps. Tell us something about the commodity, and is it a high priority or is it standard? You can upload an image so we can see what the damage or the specimen looks like, and then are you asking for an identification screening aid, or are you asking to book in a remote diagnostic session? And as I said, when you sign off and put some information about what's happening down here, why do you need it, what's happening, and where did you find it? When you send that off, it'll be going to a registered, there's only one at the moment, triage person. We look for buy-in from the states, and it'd be very useful to have a triage person per state, or if there's overseas countries, then we can just simply send it straight to that single one person as a triage person. But it gives us a way that people can go to one spot and be able to say, I need some help. Here's an image. If we need a remote session, we can book that in as well. But as I said, it's the beginning of our sandpit, and where we can have a shared user space, whether it's biosecurity or whether it's biodiversity. So, as I said, that's the remote diagnostics, and that's the beginning of our